Good morning and thank you for joining us. We have a few guests on today, so we'll be doing the Enhance and ClickDimensions webinar. For all of you that have joined us, I know we've got a few existing clients and we have some newbies online. So today's session will be very interactive and we do encourage you to be engaged and to ask questions along the way. So today's host, you have myself, Howie. I'm from Enhance. I'm one of the NFP strategic business consultants. I specialise in the charity sector. And joining us from ClickDimensions is Sunil today, and he will be running us through ClickDimensions demonstration, and he'll be focusing on the social module. I know a lot of charities have been keen to explore this avenue a bit more to see what's available in the social space. So Sunil's going to take us through that and walk us through. For those of you that don't know Enhance, we are a UK-based company. We are in Manchester, London and Dublin. So we have about 115 employees. We concentrate mostly on the charity sector, with mostly 70% of our projects are around fundraising, engagement, grants management, and program delivery. We're focused 100% on Microsoft technologies. We're also part of the Microsoft Tech for Social Impact team. Again, that's another sector that's just predominantly looking after not-for-profits and for charities. And one of our partners today is ClickDimensions, so we're a gold partner. I'm really excited to have them on board. We've worked together on many projects, and we're keen to see how we can work together even more on some of your projects. So just a bit of a background, this is some of Enhance's NFP clients. This is a very small patch. There is a lot more there. So we, as you can see, we cater from very small to mid-size to large enterprise, working with across all the Microsoft technology stack. So through Power Apps and Power Platform, we've got our fundraising, like I said before, we've got our NFP 365. So there's a lot to offer. If you don't know us, feel free to reach out to us after this presentation and I can get you in touch with some more information. I'm going to hand over to Sunil now because I know he's keen to get stuck into the ClickDimensions modules and really look into the social bit. So thank you, everyone. And like I said, if you just go into the chat section there, and if you want to write a question, feel free. Sunil's happy to take questions along the way. Otherwise, you can wait to the end.
Cheers. Thank you, Howie. Just bear with me, guys. I'm just showing my screen and you should be seeing that right now. So guys, thanks for joining. Good morning as well. Whose idea was it to have a webinar at 10 a.m. in the morning? I don't know. I'm still waking up myself, but no, happy to have you guys. And let's get into it. So I am a product marketing manager here at ClickDimensions, but think of me as a marketing consultant. I'm not just a techie at heart as well. So if you do have any marketing, in general, marketing related questions, social media questions, feel free to ask. I've been in marketing for 7 years. I've lived in social for the last 3 or 4 years as well. And yeah, we have a tremendous, fantastic solution here, which I wanted to run you through today. Now, the good news is, guys, I don't have so many slides for you today at all. I've been told this is a small, tight-knit group today, so let's make the most of this, right? Let's try and make this as engaging as possible. I appreciate you don't have access to your microphones, so I won't be getting heckles from the crowd, which is fantastic. But absolutely, just put in any questions that you have in the chat box, and I'll be sure to, just keep an eye on the chat box, and we'll look at it at the end as well, in case I do miss things. But guys, have a look at this slide here, right? I was initially going to start boring you with some statistics about how everybody uses social media and how time spent on social media is going up. And we all know this, right? But I thought, look, let's just get down to it, right? It's a Tuesday morning. Let's just actually be as impactful as we can from the beginning. And this is what I'm here to talk about today, the benefits of social marketing with our solution. And we can look at these, right? And these are use cases, so if you guys are doing these things, fantastic. We can help you do more of these things. And if you guys feel like you need to get started with these things, we can help you do that as well. So I appreciate, the audience in the crowd today, right? We're all in the charity and non-profit space. Typically it isn't my forte, if I'm very honest with you. So help me help you guys, challenge me, put some questions in the chat box, ask me questions specific to the types of campaigns you run. And I'll try and not be too salesy, right? Because I appreciate we're not talking revenue, we may be talking donations, right? So I am mindful, guys, but again, help me help you along the way, please. So let's just look at these just for a second, the benefits of social marketing. This is what our solution can enable you to do. Now, we have a full social media suite. As you know, if you know about ClickDimensions, our bread and butter, as they say, has been the traditional marketing methods, such as email marketing and running events. Social media is its own beast, right? So we didn't go off and reinvent the wheel. We actually worked with a leader in this space. They are called Octopost. We worked on an integration. So it was a strategic partnership. So we leveraged them at the front end, so everybody has the benefits of using this full social media suite. But we do have a really tight integration into our technology, CRM as well, which really makes this extremely valuable for our customers. We're able to take the so what out of social marketing, and we're actually going to be able to show you how we can translate this into donations and revenue amounts. Right, so guys, what are these things, right? Advocacy. These are the things that we're going to cover. There's a little bit more structure on the next slide as well, because this can appear to be overwhelming, and I do want to make sure we get through all of these use cases or benefits. But advocacy is all about empowering people, employees, partner brands, to really amplify your messaging and your brand's content. It's all about enabling other people to spread the messaging of your company so that we can increase, those impressions and those clicks and those conversions, those donations. Now, if we find that we want to spread awareness for all of the different various campaigns that we're running or things that are happening in the news, and your involvement, with all these initiatives, we have fantastic ways where we can help build your brand awareness. Let's get into the faces of as many people as we can. Let's spread the awareness of all the great work we're doing. Of course, this is going to help drive more donations, right? Let's get more people onto your website. This is what marketing is all about, leads, right? So let's just get people onto your website. Let's get people filling out that contact us form, filling out surveys, providing their details, just so that we can get in contact with them and nurture them, right? Educate them. Customer insights through social listening. Absolutely fantastic capabilities we have as well, where we're going to be able to do industry research, or we can look at like other charities and see, what other people are doing, and more importantly, what are our potential donators saying? What are they interested in? What are they doing on the weekend? Maybe we can build campaigns that can target people on a more interest and personal driven level. So we can definitely do things like that. A self-led experience, very, very important. We know, especially in this space as well, I appreciate a lot of it's about education, and rightly so, we need to pull at heartstrings, right? And this has to be a self-led experience. We need to get people emotionally involved. We want people to commit themselves. We want people to consume our content on a regular cadence, which will ultimately then, be, of course, we want to get donations, or whatever it is we want to do, but it has to make sense, and it has to be a self-led experience. Ultimately, through all these things, such as increasing website traffic and building awareness and having this experience that people can go down, of course, we want to take these leads, and we want to generate a monetary value at the end of it. So we have ways in which we can measure this as well, which is fantastic for our businesses, right? For our brands, we can actually prove the value of all of our social marketing. And ultimately, social media really does enable us to actually start going into the realms of having omni-channel campaigns. It says here, social media messages reinforce your messaging on other channels like web or email. And of course it does, right? Social media is another platform. It's another platform that enables us to capture a whole new audience, and we can take that whole new audience and we can feed them into existing web or email campaigns that we have running. And I'll show you exactly how to do this, guys, because these sound great, right? On paper, yes, we all want to do this, but how do we do this, right? And this is what we're going to get into, and this is the only last slide. And I'm going to unpack this a little bit, so spoiler alert, this is what we're going to be covering today. I'm actually going to spend the rest of the time in the product itself as well. This won't be a deep dive, but reach out for that deep dive. But this is going to be quite a in-depth but high-level demonstration of the core capabilities as well, because I really want you guys to understand how we can achieve those benefits, how you're going to be able to achieve all those use cases on the previous slide using our technology. So let's get into it, guys. First of all, we're going to tackle social publishing, right? Where we're going to be able to efficiently schedule and manage content across all of your profiles and networks. Now, I appreciate, some of you on the call right now, you might have solutions. You might be doing this already. Fantastic. We won't spend a whole load of time on like the calendar and how to create posts. And for you that don't have anything in place, I understand the struggle. we have to use multiple different networks and social media channels. And if that's a manual process, we need, then good luck to us all, right? So we need to streamline this because it means we're just going to be a lot more efficient with our posting. It means we're going to have a lot more time saved, and it means that we're going to be able to work on other initiatives as well. So let's get into social publishing, guys. So I'm just bringing on my trusty web browser, and here you can see our solution. Now, there's a lot of data on screen. There's a lot of information. Don't worry about that. I'm actually going to be quite laser focused today. I'm going to show you specific things that I think are going to pique your interest. And I just want to bring your attention to the left-hand side here. So you can see these are the way in which we can navigate through the platform. And these essentially will mimic what we just see on the slide here as well. So we'll go one by one, just so it'll be very easy for us to digest. Now we're starting off on the dashboard, guys. Now this is just giving me a snapshot of the last 30 days. And I can see, okay, we have nearly 400 posts which have gone out, and we've had 400 clicks, which isn't bad. We've had one conversion, and if we want, we can assign a monetary value to this as well. But most importantly, we're interested in conversions, right? Now, this is just dummy data, and where I'm actually using sample data from our own account, ClickDimensions. So the expression is we drink our own champagne, right? This solution works. We use it ourselves, as you can see. And this is a snapshot of our data in the last 30 days there. But let's get into the publishing section. And I'm just going to draw your attention to the calendar here, just to show you what this will look like. You can see all these weird and wonderful posts, and there's a load of different colors here. So of course, the different colors, as you probably guessed, are just ways to just filter out the campaigns, right? So each different color has its own campaign. We can extend the view as well, so you can actually get a visual view of all the posts as they're happening throughout the month. Now, this is fantastic, guys, because we can set this and we can forget this, right? We don't have to. If you're going in manually posting every single day or a couple of times a day, we can alleviate that pain, that problem, and we can give you all that time saved. You can just schedule things in advance. As you can see, this is what we've done for the month of April. Now, if you wanted to create a new post, guys, I'm not going to spend so much time on how to create a new post, but you can see how we can easily do so. We are plugged into Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube as well. We just haven't connected that in this demo environment. And you can see here, right, this is how I can go ahead and I can create a post. Of course, I can assign this to a campaign as well. I can add any pictures or images, and I can schedule this out as well. But another value add, and this is something that you might not have if you do have social tools that you're using. I want to speak to that audience as well, and I want to show you a few cool tips and tricks and maybe one or two features which may add value to your day-to-day. We could actually be a bit more laser focused when it comes to publishing to our audience. By default on all platforms, these will be public posts, right? So every single one of our followers will see this. But if we have more of a regional based campaign and we want to produce content for a particular audience in a certain location, we can target an audience. I'm based out of the London, UK, right? So if I wanted to, I can just focus on London, and if whatever I'm posting here will go to that particular audience. And this is the same for Twitter and Instagram as well. Gets even more interesting on LinkedIn. If we look at the audience, we can actually start targeting companies of a certain size, of a certain industry. We can actually start to target businesses that are performing a certain function, people of a particular job title in a certain location and a language as well. So just wanted to just give you that insight for those who are currently using social tools. That might be something that's a bit different. You might get a bit of value from that. Let us know in the comments, if you find that useful, if you have any questions. But this is how we can create posts, guys. So you're going to be able to efficiently do this at scale. But let me show you another few cool tips and tricks. Now, if you're just getting started with social, or you want to do more with social, but you don't necessarily have the resource or the time to produce posts at scale, and maybe you're only posting once a day or once every other day, and you want to increase this amount, because as we know, if we put more posts out there, we're going to get into the faces of more people, we're going to drive more traffic and all that good stuff. But we have a ways to automate the process for you. We're big on automation, right? I mean, our specialty is email automation. So let me just show you a few cool tips and tricks here. I'm just going to go into any random campaign. You don't have to worry about where I'm clicking right now. I mean, for that deep dive demonstration, guys, reach out, get in touch. I just want to whet your appetite today, right? I want to get you on a call. I want to understand more about what you're doing with social so we can really map this to your current strategies. But if I just go into messages here, you can see we have a repository. And I just want to bring your attention to this approval process as well. So depending on your organization, if you have maybe a small organization and you are that marketer who wears many hats and you don't necessarily need an approval process, then great. You could be the one to create content and get it posted. But if you had like more of a workflow requirement internally and you had many people, content marketers, creators, etc., then we do have an approval process, guys. So people could contribute, people can create content. This will be sent off for approval, and the head of or whoever it may be in charge can approve this. So just wanted to bring your attention to that. But I wanted to show you something very unique. This is called the message generator. I've been in social for a few years, guys, and I've never seen anything like this. And I understand it's very, very typical for social media marketers to take existing content, such as blog articles, and to snip this up, and to create bite-sized snippets of information that we can leverage for social. Very, very easy strategy, good tactic using existing assets, but a little bit of a manual process. So what we can do here, I'm going to show you an example of how this works. I'm just on this Macmillan Cancer Support website here, and you can see I'm on their article section. I'm just going to grab any one of these articles, right? I'm just going to click into this one. I'm just going to copy this URL. So you can see I can just paste this URL in, and you can see where this is going, right? I'm going to be able to produce content at scale very quickly from existing assets I have, which is fantastic. So yes, of course, we want to create all the artsy bit of content, and you probably have content creators, designers creating those image-based ones for like Instagram specifically, but maybe for LinkedIn or for Twitter, where we do want to spread awareness. And if every blog article that we publish, we can easily just turn that into a bunch of social media content. So you can see here, I pasted the URL in, it's pulled out the popular hashtags which I should have in. It's done analysis on every single word on that website, and it said, hey, look, I wanted 5 particular hashtags in this occasion. These are the hashtags that carry the most weight, so use these. Say okay, I'll click next, and here is where I can instruct the platform to say, well, okay, how about you go off and create me 4 posts for Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Of course, this won't work for YouTube, it's not a video, and for Instagram, you need an image. So this will work for Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And I'll hit generate, guys. So within seconds, you can see I've just created all these posts automatically. They're in the draft mode as well, which means I can select these and I can send to approval. It's in approval. You can see here, this will be sent to someone and they can approve it. But let me go back into that campaign. I believe I was in this campaign. I've lost it. Yep, here we go. All right, cool. So this is what the posts look like as well, guys. So they look pretty slick. You can see here, it looks very professional. The hashtags are all in order as well. I can open this up into full screen as well, so I can really see what this will look like once I post it on LinkedIn. It will have like a thumbnail image. People can click into this and go to the article. This is how it will look on Facebook as well. They each have their, okay, it looks very similar on Facebook as well. I think we have one for Twitter here as well. Twitter is just, yeah, there we go as well. So you can see what these cards look like on both desktop and mobile. And this is how we're going to be able to create posts at scale, guys. Okay, so very, very cool tip, very cool trick. So if you're not doing much with social today, this is how we will enable you to get started very quickly using existing assets that you have. And if you're already active on social and you want to produce more content, that's a really cool tip and trick for you guys there as well, okay? Now, what I also wanted to show you was ways in which we can search for viral content as well. So we have this content curation capability, which is fantastic. And this is getting into social listening to an extent, right? But this is actually surfacing Google, guys. And this is quite unique as well. It works off of keywords. So you can see I've got some examples, right? Email marketing, artificial intelligence, Dynamics 365, maybe not so interesting. So here are some other ones that I've done. I believe, Oxfam, I saw that on the logo. We might have Oxfam on the call today, right? So it's always a good idea to just chuck your brand into this. And what this is going to do is it's going to go off and scour Google, the first couple of pages on Google. So we know that these articles are the most popular and ones that are gaining traction. And we can actually see, okay, what's the affiliation of our brand with these articles? Are these things that we want to talk about? Are these advocate pages that we want to share? I can click into read article and it's going to take me to the daily record, or I can share this straight from within here, which is amazing. So this is really going to help you round between creating your own content internally, all the artsy fartsy stuff, which is fantastic, between grabbing existing assets and using the message generator and searching for viral content about your brand or any keyword of interest. You're going to be able to really extend your social media posting and scheduling. You're going to get into the faces of so many more people. And this is a great way to round out your social media strategy. It's a case of, hey, don't take our word for it. Yes, we're practicing and we're preaching a lot of this stuff on social media, but look what other people are saying about our brands. This is just a great way as well to stay on top of any maybe negative PR that you may come across. So I just wanted to take the time just to show you this, for cancer research as well. I can put this in, and here we can see as well all these like types of articles that are coming up. Now, we can be a bit more laser focused with these searches as well. I'm just going to go to my COVID-19 vaccine example. And I'm just going to open up the settings here, guys, just to show you that, yes, we can put in a keyword to say COVID-19 vaccine, but if I wanted to be a bit more laser focused, I can say, well, also show me articles where the UK has been mentioned and statistics specifically. So now I'm looking at all these UK-based articles and talking about the vaccine and statistics, right? So now, depending on my campaign or the type of content I want you to be sharing, I'm ready to just start sharing this content out, or I can schedule this in advance as well. So you can just have a social marketer just sit in here maybe once a week or once a month or once a quarter if you really have like your roadmap and your strategy outlined, and you can just set this well in advance. So imagine all that time you're going to have saved, you're going to be able to work on other initiatives, right? So I just wanted to show you that, guys, in terms of publishing. So I just wanted to show you ways in which you could actually have a visual and ways in which you can create content at scale to feed into this. So, okay, any questions on what we're seeing, guys? Put them in. We'll go over to the next section. Let's just go back to my trusty slide here. I can't see any questions right now. Easy crowd, that's all good. It's a Tuesday morning. And let's go into social demand generation, guys. Convert social interactions into leads with attribution. So, why should we be doing this? Why should we be generating leads via social? Well, ultimately, this is our integration as well that I mentioned right now. This piece here is very, very unique. You won't get this capability with any marketing automation platform out there. Even if you go to Octopus directly, who we partner with, you won't be able to do what I'm about to show you, because I'm actually going to take you into our CRM now. But why are we doing this, right? So what? Why is this important? Well, you're going to have a new channel generating you leads, which we can then nurture for donations, say. It's integrated with Dynamics CRM. So if you're using Dynamics CRM, then of course we need that one ecosystem. We need everything integrated. So we have all the data points in one place. You're going to be able to maximize on your ClickDimensions investment as well. We have a lot of clients of ours who use so much of our technology, but they don't use some of it as well. So we really want to encourage people to get a maximum return on your investment. We can automate the lead gen process from social, because we have those capabilities in the CRM. So yeah, let's get into it, guys. What is this all about, right? Social demand generation. So first of all, to talk to the integration, I'm just going to show you this campaign view. And I just want to make it clear that these campaigns are tightly integrated with the campaigns that you have set up in the CRM. So whenever you are setting up campaigns in the CRM, we're pulling these into the platform here. We have that integration, right? But what does this look like in the CRM? Well, I'm going to shift into a contact view here. And you can see in this demo environment, this is myself. I've just been clicking around on some stuff, right? But if I was to engage with this individual, yes, I can understand this person's marketing journey, right? What web pages he's visited, what forms he's filled out, what surveys he's partaken in. But I also want to understand what social media content has this person been consuming? And what has he been clicking on from social media? We use this internally, guys. If I'm picking up the phone, or if someone's picking up the phone to talk to a prospect, we understand which campaign they came in from. So I'm aware of which content this individual has been consuming. So I know what he's interested in. I know why he's interested. I know why I'm about to have a conversation with this individual, because I understand what he's been consuming. I actually know, okay, like what social platform he's living on as well, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, etc. And I can see the links he's clicking in. So I can click on these if I want as well. Maybe these will be video explainers, or maybe these will be subscribe forms or landing pages. So I'm going to get a really good view of this individual before I even initiate a conversation with this person. Now, this is great, right? You don't get this typically when it comes to social click information. And this is good, guys. But yeah, what is even more valuable than this? Like, what I really like now is we're going into our campaign automations. Now, you guys might have automated campaigns. They may look as weird and as wonderful as this, and they don't have to, right? They can look as simple as maybe it's just this first part here where you just have a couple of emails in this series. But whatever it is, whether or not you're doing email automations today, fantastic. Let's use those. Let's feed people in from social into existing campaigns. Let's not reinvent the wheel. Let's not duplicate efforts. Let's use what you already have, guys. So again, let's just enable you guys to hit the ground running. I've already showed you how you can create posts at scale, so you can be very active with social media in a short amount of time. And now I'm telling you that we can use your existing campaigns, your traditional email marketing, as a way to benefit from social media. So how, right? Okay, so you can see here on the far left-hand side, here is like a top of the funnel, right? That I've just created. We want to chuck everybody into this top of the funnel marketing list. And from there, we want to begin the nurturing, right? Whether this is an invite to a webinar or whether this is just a simple email, whatever it may be. And you can see the various ways in which we can actually capture people to go into the top of the funnel. Maybe I'm manually adding this. Maybe I'm doing it on an on-site event. Maybe I'm manually collating names and email addresses, and I'm going to put this into the top of funnel. Maybe it's a marketing list that I procured from somewhere from a previous campaign, or maybe it's just landing pages, or whatever it may be. But what I want to bring your attention to is this social click trigger, which is extremely powerful, guys, and a massive, massive, massive differentiator. This will probably be the quickest way to get an ROI from your social investment, because we're going to be able to tie people into existing campaigns that are working. Let us know, what are your best working campaigns? Let's use those. That's the best place to start. We know they're working, right? And essentially what we're doing here is, I won't get into it too much, but I can assign a social post. I can go through our list and I can choose one. But essentially what I'm saying is, well, let's put a URL in there, right? Something that can be clickable. Now, it could be a blog post. Now, as soon as somebody clicks on that article, they're going to go into the top of the funnel marketing list, and we're going to begin nurturing this individual. So you can see how extremely powerful this is. Now, this will work for known contact on lead records. Somebody needs to opt in, of course. They have to accept our T's and C's. So on occasion, part of our social media strategy will be to publish posts where we're giving something of free value, right? Or we're encouraging people to subscribe and to sign up. Now, depending on how many followers that you have, we need to turn these followers into leads so we can then educate them, so we can then gain donations, right? So definitely on a periodical basis, let's try and capture information, names and email addresses, because the next time they come around and they click on a link, they're going to go into an email series. So very, very powerful. I've nothing like it out there on the market, and this really does help bridge the gap between social media and revenue, or lead gen, or donations, or whatever it is. A lot of people today, typically social media is just a task. It's very hard, it's very difficult to actually derive any value from social media. I'm creating 1,000 posts a month, and yeah, I have 50,000 people following me, but so what? Right? How do we turn these people? How do we nurture these people? How do we educate these people? So if you remember from the slide initially, that self-led journey experience, well, we can create these and we can segment the audience. I'll give you a real world example of this. I was working with a health and wellness, a mindfulness organization a couple of weeks ago, and fantastic use case. And they were publishing social media content, and one of their pieces was, what happens is a fascinating piece of content. What happens to your brain waves during deep states of meditation, right? And they gave information into your alpha brain state, your beta, your theta, your data, your gamma. Like, it was out there. Really informative, different piece of content. And it was a link to their blog article. Now, as soon as somebody clicked on their blog article, they were then put into an email automation where they actually received an invitation to a free webinar. It was a guided meditation free webinar. They attended that webinar. Following the webinar, they received a text message to say, thank you very much for joining the webinar. Here's a coupon if you actually wanted to book some corporate sessions for your team or for yourself. And then people were presented with a URL where they can then book some personal sessions with a discount code. So a great example of how we were able to actually generate revenue from a social media post. So unbelievable use case there, guys. Very, very unique. I don't think you probably would have seen anything like that. If you have, let us know. Let us know. I certainly haven't. So okay, let's move on, guys. Social listening. Okay, yes, we love social listening, guys. So if you are doing social listening today, fantastic. Let me show you how we do it. And if you're not performing any social listening, then let's talk about research, right? What's the value of it? What does it mean? And with social listening, I'm just going to open up streams here. Here are some streams that I've made earlier, and I've tried to create some that might make a bit of sense. But reasons why you should socially listen, I mean, social listening gives you opportunities, right, to engage with your customers, your followers, about your brand and any campaigns that you are running. You can track other charities as well, so we can understand, okay, what are the RSPCA doing? What are Cancer Research doing? What are Oxfam doing on social media? What can we learn from these guys? What are they doing that we like? What are they doing that we're not doing that we can do? We can start to listen to our audience as well to start to find any sort of like pain points. We can discover new, we call them sales leads, but opportunities, right? So we can uncover new people, followers that we can begin nurturing. And we can start to identify influencers and brand advocates as well. So you can see here across Twitter, we're able to pull in owned and earned channels. So if I just show you for our personal owned channels, again, we use this, right, guys? So you can see we have our own Twitter, our own LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram pages. And this is a great way, like our social marketer, she just lives on this screen basically just to ensure that things are coming out consistently, things look right. And we're able to stay on top of what people are liking and what people are sharing. But also, you can look outside of the window as well, right? So you can look at other brands as well. So there will be learnings to be had. So we can actually start to see how they're engaging with individuals and what is their social media marketing strategy consisting of in terms of content, etc. And we can just analyze this, guys. It's great for research, right? This will just help drive our social media content strategy. So this solution is all about making data-driven decisions. We no longer have to just put our finger in the air or just do simple Google searches. We could actually look at what's being successful for other people, what's actually working. Now, this is being retweeted 11 times. Maybe this isn't necessarily correct for us, but yes, put a brand that will be relevant to yourself, and let's have a look at those. You could do keyword searches as well, guys, as well. So as well as looking at handles across Twitter and Instagram, here are some very, very loose examples. I've just put in like thanks for donating, just to get an insight into what people are actually donating for right now. Just so we can get a sense of, where that spend is, what is it going towards, where is the awareness right now in today's world when it comes to donating. I've just done the keyword search for children in need as well. Who are the players? What are people saying about this? Again, let's listen to these guys. Let's use this information in our campaigns. It's very typical for campaigns. We need to address questions, and we need to address the themes that are going viral that people are talking about. These are the viral topics, and it's all about making data-driven decisions, guys, right? So let's not think what we know and will provide to be good content for a campaign. Let's look at what people are talking about. And you can see this is updating just within seconds and minutes as well. Here's another one for poverty. So across Twitter, you can be very, very free with your keywords. You can just type in whatever you want. There are a load of different specifiers to say, show me content from a particular location or from a particular time period, and a lot more. We can get into that, get on the call, guys. Let's do a deep dive. I want to get you guys out of here within 40 minutes or so. So I won't be able to show you everything today. And for Instagram, you can see it's done on hashtags, right? So hashtags are keywords anyway. Hashtag donation. Yep. What's the Instagram vibe? What sort of content is being shared? Informative, imagery-based content. Of course it is. So what can we learn from this? Let's get this out, share this internally. So maybe, there are things that we can learn from here. And again, another keyword search. So social listening as well. I just want to throw it back to where we was doing the content curation as well, because this isn't social listening, because this is obviously creating like all the latest articles and things, but it is listening. The moment you put your brand name in there as well, whether you're Oxfam or Cancer Research, you can really start to get more of a 360-degree picture of, yep, what's the vibe on social and what's the vibe from articles and from popular publications as well. So fantastic capabilities with social listening, guys. Get in touch. I want to learn about your use cases, what you're doing. Let's help bake this into your strategies. Right, social advocacy, massive, guys. Yeah.
Just before you move on, we did have a question. So it's just from Linda saying, can the surveys and easiness be created and run through ClickDimensions, or do we need to plug into third-party tools like MailChimp and SurveyMonkey?
No, absolutely. Fantastic question. Fantastic question. Thank you for asking. I couldn't actually see that in the chat box. So if there are any other questions, just shout them out. So no, we have, if you don't know about ClickDimensions and the full capabilities, get in touch. We can absolutely create landing pages and forms and surveys, which are all trackable, all integrated into the social media. We do have a single point solution which will cover all of your marketing needs. I've been in marketing, guys, for 7 years. I've been in search engine marketing. I've been in social marketing. I've been in paid advertising as well. ClickDimensions, we cover the automation piece on top of all that. So yes, to answer your question, we can absolutely create these surveys and these forms. We don't need to use a MailChimp or a SurveyMonkey or a third-party platform. Get in touch. We'll show you exactly how we do that as well. Thank you for the question, guys. Any more, keep them coming. Yeah, you're welcome. All right, guys, advocacy. I love advocacy. I'm an advocate of advocacy. I do have a real world example, which I can show you as well. But what is advocacy, right? Let me just show you what it is. Like, it's all about empowering, as I said, employees or strategic partners to be able to share company content. And it serves two purposes, right? Because first of all, the company, the brand loves this because it means our content is getting into the faces of so many more people because it's being shared. And as an individual, it helps build your own personal brand. And because you're positioning yourself as a thought leader, you're providing information, you're serving to your individual network. So let's just get into like how it's all set up, and then we'll actually look on what I call the front end, how it actually works in real life. But I just want to show you, like we create these boards, right, which are just basically different buckets. And again, we use this ourselves. So we can see we have 87 employees in Click that are part of this advocacy program. I am as well. So I'm going to click into this one. And I'm going to show you here we have all this marketing approved content. Our marketing team want us to share this content. I can click on this and I can see what the content is, what it looks like, and this is encouraged for us to actually share. Now, this is, yeah, we don't have to create anything new for advocates as well, by the way, guys, right? So all the content that you're already creating, we can just copy this over. So again, let's not duplicate efforts. This isn't something that you need to add on to your day-to-day. It's really a case of, well, let's recycle your existing assets, because we just want to get people to share this. It's great content. Now, so we have a report. We can split things into topics as well, guys. So maybe you have content for specific campaigns, or maybe you have regional based content. The way we actually use this internally as well is we have a team based out in Germany, for example. So we produce localized content that only they are able to share. Maybe I have a sales team on LinkedIn and I want to empower them with sales collateral. Maybe I have my brand ambassadors and I want to provide them with industry thoughts, tips and tricks, that sort of content. So you can split these topics up how you wish. People can make suggestions, and we have analytics which we go into as well, which are fantastic. But this is how we set it up. Very simple, right? You have that power user. It could be you, so get in touch. And the users of the platform, like myself, right? Like this is what I'm presented with. Something very, very slick, very, very user-friendly, guys. Every Monday morning, I come and sit at my desk, and while I'm having my coffee, I'll have a look at this content and I'll say, okay, so this is what marketing want me to share. Very easy. I'll just click on this. You can see it's connected to my personal profile. And I can choose any article here, and I can automatically schedule this. And we're going to get into this automagical bit in just a second, but just know what it does for now. That's enough. I'll show you how it works in just a second. But basically, it's actually going to analyze my individual network. So it's intelligent. It knows when my network on LinkedIn say when they're most likely to be online. Maybe not a Monday morning, but maybe on a Wednesday morning. And I'll show you we have data to back this up. It's interesting. So I can just sit here and say, well, okay, automatically schedule this, guys, and share it later. So at some point in the week, this post is going to go out. So I can just come here and just click share, guys, like this. It's not going to bombard my LinkedIn, and I'm not going to be posting all this content immediately. It's actually going to look for optimal time. It's actually going to be strategic with these posts. And I can just sit here and just share this content, guys. And then you can imagine, right, if you can get all of your employees to share content, you have this gamification feature as well, which just enables for a friendly bit of banter, to be honest with you. When I pull this into our team meetings, let's talk about this. It just really does encourage people to just share content. People can make suggestions in this view as well. So if you have a good idea and maybe some localized piece of content, whatever it may be, people can make suggestions, it'll go into the approval process. But this is what it looks like. It's not labor intensive for anybody whatsoever. It will only take somebody 5 or 10 minutes to actually start sharing this content. And all of a sudden, they're positioning themselves as an industry leader. They're actually serving their individual network. And time again, guys, I actually get messages. Let me actually bring this up, actually. I'm going to show you something. I'm opening up another PowerPoint. I'm looking for a particular image, and it is worth showing you because I want to show you that it does actually work. Here we go. Let me just bring this one on here. Here we go, guys. So you can see here's just a snapshot, right, where Oliver messaged me. I get this all the time as well, guys. And he reached out to me, and the long and short of it was he was interested in learning more about Click or the campaign that we ran, and I directed him to the website. The conversation went on, and I asked Oliver, I said, hey, Oliver, so what made you reach out to me? I wasn't familiar with Oliver. I'm part of my network, but he's not like a friend or anything. And he just said, hey, Cyril, I just see you all the time posting good content, informative content. You seem to know what it is you're talking about. So you seem to be the best person to reach out because I want to learn more about Click. So you can see it really does work, guys. If you get your employees just sharing company content, especially for your campaigns, the brand awareness, like charity content, like get this out into as many people as possible. This is really actually going to start driving your subscriber rate, your conversion rate, your donation rate. So advocacy is massive. I definitely recommend it. I love it. Again, arguably, it might be your quickest way to get a return on your social investment. Let's just get the communities, our employees involved, guys. So very, very powerful. Any questions on that at all, guys, in the chat box?
No, it's been really good. Thanks, Sunil.
Yeah, good crowd. Thank you, guys. Making my job a lot easier, that's for sure. No tricky questions. Thank you. Okay, guys, we're going to finish up. Just a couple more things to talk about. The social customer care. So this is just essentially a unified inbox, right? If I just go back into the platform, you can see we have an inbox. And sorry, excuse me. So this actually kind of stems from the social listening part as well, right? So whenever we do get people mentioning us, But not only mentioning us, whenever we get people sending us direct messages in Facebook and in Instagram, and whenever we get people commenting on maybe our YouTube videos or just posts in general, we're going to pull all of this into a unified inbox. So this is how we're actually going to be able to respond to people at scale from one single place. I mean, I've been in marketing, right? I mean, I've been in social marketing, and it's a pain in the butt where you don't have a solution like this, where you're jumping between your app from app, and you have to currently just be on your mobile all the time. And with Instagram, I don't even think you can upload images from your desktop. You can only do that on mobile. So there's some things that you can't do unless you're actually on mobile. So we just streamline everything, guys. We're pulling everything into one place so we can see we're collating all this information. These might not be the best examples of content. It's all dummy data. But you can see we actually have this assignment capability as well, guys. So imagine if we saw people who were interested in donating or wanting to learn more about a particular charity. Well, let's get this out to the person who will be in the know. Like for us, if we see somebody who says, hey, Click, I want to buy something. Hey, I want to get this out to a sales guy, right? If I see someone that says, hey, Click, you suck, then I want to get this out to crisis management, PR, whoever it may be, right? Let's stay on top of this and let's lock this down. Let's respond in good time. Now, if you do have access, if you are a power user as well, you do have your own view where you can see what is assigned to you. So here you can have your own inbox where you can see you can just immediately just respond straight out of here. And it's like a ticketing system, right? Where once you reply, you can close this down. So you can see here how we're going to be able to streamline this process as well. Social media is a fantastic community. It is a community. It goes beyond just responding to email. It's more personal. It's more informal as well. It's a growing channel. We need to be doing more on social. We need to be engaging more on social. One of the things people don't do enough is actually engage. We can go off and we can create content and post content and use all the hashtags, but so what? If we're not actually getting in touch with people and asking for their feedback and actually building relationships online, then we're not doing social properly. So this enables us to do that, guys. So we do have this unified inbox. And lastly, we've covered off all the core capabilities just very quickly, and we have just tip of the iceberg stuff, right? Just scratch the surface, as they say, which is why I'm encouraging you guys to reach out. I want to talk to you guys. I want to understand who's actually listening to me right now. I want to see you guys. I want to talk to you guys, so we can really unpack what it is we're seeing. But lastly, guys, I'm going to end with analytics. Now, typically, I normally start with analytics depending on who's on the call, right? But fantastic. This is where we go to actually prove the value of our social marketing efforts. Now, as a social media marketer, I'm giving this just a second to load. There we go. This is just a snapshot in time as well, December period, Christmas time. Of course, things are a bit slower there, of course, in December. I'll just bring your attention to the filters, won't talk too much about it, but of course we can filter things as you expect by campaign. We can tag things as well in here, right? By network, profile, whatever it may be. Don't need to spend a lot of time there. But this is all about setting goals, understanding my benchmarks, and proving to the business the value of my social media efforts. I'm creating so many posts, so what? Like, who cares about that? Okay, to me, if you're creating 10 posts or 100 posts, so what? Like, what's the conversions, what's the clicks, what's the impressions? This is what I care about. So initially in this acquisition report, very, very high level, just to get a feel, 315 posts, we got into the faces of however many people, we drove so many clicks. All right, this is okay. Gets really excited, guys, when we actually start looking at the engagement metrics. This is my favorite report. This is my favorite dashboard, because now as a social marketer, I can actually start to set goals and understand my benchmarks further. Guys, I have 315 posts. I can double this easily. I already showed you how we could take existing content and we can split that up into bite-sized pieces. I already showed you how we can search for viral content and share that as well. So I can easily get this up to 600 posts if I wanted to. If I do that, then in theory, my impressions should nearly double, right? If I do that, my engagements should double, right? My engagement rates should go up as well, right? So all this stuff are going to lead to more conversions, more donations, right? We have data here. So we can go off and create content. Let's come back next week and look at this. Let's do a week-on-week comparison and actually have a look at our numbers going up. I want to see this graph just go up and up and up. Now, if we wanted to get into the granularity of how people engage, this is fantastic to know, because maybe on LinkedIn, people are more likely to comment. So I'll add a filter. I'll say, look, show me this information for LinkedIn specifically. If I see people are more open to comment, cool, let's ask more questions. Let's produce content that's going to spark a debate. But if I see, or maybe on Facebook, some people just liking content, okay, maybe I just want to do like quirky images, maybe some funny memes, maybe a quick little video or a GIF or an infographic if I'm not getting any sort of engagement. So we need to use this data to actually help drive the content strategy for sure. No longer finger in the air guy, right? Let's just use this as a machine, which is almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy, guys. We're taking information out, it's driving our strategy, we're implementing these changes, we're coming back, we're seeing the gains, and rinse and repeat. As I scroll down, guys, let's pull this information into meetings, right? This is how we use it. Fantastic. Our engagements, 80% of it was from LinkedIn. Guys, let's do more of that. Don't take your foot off the pedal. Yeah, Facebook, 5.6%. Really, guys, what can we do more about this? All right, guys, this week, our homework, we have time now. We're not creating posts. We've already done that for the month. So now we have time to research best practices on Facebook. Let's be a bit more creative here. Let's grow this. That's what we want to look. That's what we want to do. Let's come back next week and let's just have a look at this to see if that 5.6% has gone up to maybe 10 or 15%. But let's pull this into a meeting. Let's discuss this. We have data here, guys. Twitter, fantastic, guys. Yes, it's growing, for example. So you're going to be able to stay on track of these things. As we scroll down, this is where it gets really, really, really strategic with the time and postings, like the engagements behind that. So remember the advocacy, the automatically schedule, it works off of this data here. The bigger and greener the bubble that we see, the more clicks into interaction there is. The redder or the oranger that you see, not necessarily so much is happening. And again, let's just bring this to reality a little bit, right? Monday at 9 a.m. or let's do a Tuesday at 10 a.m. That's the time the webinar started, right? Monday's a better example, but you can see it makes sense, guys. At the start of the month, people are not on social media. They're playing catch up. they're going through email inboxes and they're planning out their week. However, if you look at Wednesday at 9 a.m., people are in the groove. People are engaging. It's hump day, right? People are probably in the flow. They've got a bit more time to spend on social. So we need to be mindful of our content and when to post things. Maybe on a Monday morning, I want to just put like a motivational post out, something inspiring, and not engaging. So we just want to inspire people and just get our brand familiarity in on a Monday morning. But come Wednesday, let's start to engage and start asking questions. Let's use all the data from above and actually start driving conversions and comments and likes, etc. So this is how we can actually be a lot more strategic with our posts, guys. Down below, we're always going to get a view on the top performing content. We won't have a look at that. I'm just going to show you a few more, and then I do want to get you guys out of here. Content I really love, guys. This just really, really does help the content strategy. If the other reports didn't help us drive our strategy, this one absolutely will as well. Let's scroll down and let's look at what worked well, guys. The top engaging link. Social media is all about engagement metrics, guys. It's all about engagement. We want to get engagements up. Engagements means people are filling out subscriber forms, landing pages, forms, surveys, which means we can nurture people. It's because of engagements that we're able to take people along that self-led fulfillment journey, that customer journey, which ultimately leads to their involvement in our campaigns, into donating, etc. So guys, let's look at this. Partner of the Year Awards drove engagements. Fantastic. Let's do a follow-up. Let's do another one of these. Let's start planning for next time. Let's talk more about this UTM campaign. This is all techie stuff, guys. It doesn't really appeal to you, but you can just see this is what we do, right? That video explainer that we did on ClickDimensions social marketing was great. Let's do a follow-up. Let's talk more about that as well so we can measure the success and we can just create content for stuff that's actually, really, really working. We have this content analysis word cloud as well. So we can actually start to understand the buzzwords that were driving people to have a look at our posts. As we know, people are scrolling through posts. Why are they going to stop and take the time to look at yours? We need to have, they call it clickbait or a title or a caption. So let's just use these buzzwords because these are the buzzwords that's got people to stop and to engage in our content. Popular hashtags will appear. We'll actually start to see from time to time influencers appear as well. Like you'll see app mentions and particular handles as well. So let's engage with these people. But yeah, I mean, here is a case of saying, well, also that piece we did on essential elements, people liked it. Let's do more. That ebook went down well. The ClickDimensions social marketing, we're really pushing this right now. So yes, we want to see that bigger, bolder here. Here you can see an influencer here actually. So someone's getting involved with us quite often as well. So here, guys, we're going to be able to really just give you a really good understanding of your content that we can just feed back in, data-driven, right? Data-driven. And guys, I'm going to end it there. I mean, reports, look, we can go into the granularity of these reports as well, like per post. I often get questions on, well, can we see the engagement metrics per post? Absolutely, we can. You get this holistic view. But if I also go back to the calendar view, whenever we do have a published post, I forgot to show you this actually, so I'm rewinding a little bit, but we can view a report for this particular post as well. So that we can see if this has been successful or not in terms of like link clicks, replies, etc., guys. So guys, that's all I wanted to take you through today. I appreciate that was a lot of information in a short period of time. Just wanted to whet your appetite, wanted to encourage you guys to just reach out to us. Do we have any questions in the chat box, guys? And over to you, Howie.
Thanks so much, Sunil. That was great. I mean, you covered a lot, and there's still a lot more to cover. If you see anything that you want to uncover a bit more, you want to find out more, please feel free to reach out and get in contact with us. Like I mentioned before, MHands is a gold partner of ClickDimensions. We work very closely together. We'd be happy to work through some use cases and look at more the social aspect of ClickDimensions. We can look at how you can do those self-led supporter journeys. So there's a lot more to look at. I know the reports and analytics, we kind of skimmed over them because we're running out of time. But again, that's a great key indicator whether you're investing funds into the right campaigns or not. So we can kind of go into that into more detail as well. To contact us, say hello at mhands.com. You can reach out directly to myself, Howie at mhands.com, and there's also more information on our website at www.mhands.com. I'd just like to thank you again all for joining us. I know it's tough to take some time out of your day to come along on the webinar. It is recorded, so we will be sending it out, and any information you require, please feel free to reach out. Thanks again, Sunil. Really appreciate your time today, and thank you for walking us through the system.
You're welcome. Thank you guys for your time.